You're watching Center Stage with Rahul Kamal.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight we bring you the untold story of the Gujarat riots of 2002. Zakia Jafri, the wife of slain Congress MP Ehsan Jafri, has filed a protest petition before an Ahmedabad court. In her appeal, Zakia has submitted 3,500 pages of police control room wireless messages and 4,000 pages of State Intelligence Bureau reports from the period of the Gujarat riots of 2002. These PCR messages and intelligence reports have never been brought in the public domain before this. Headlines Today has gone through these 7,500 pages to put together the exact picture of the information that was available with the Gujarat police in the crucial hours before the deadly riots broke out in Ahmedabad on 28 February. This information is significant because the Gujarat government has so far been claiming on several occasions that the riots that broke out on 28 February were an instantaneous reaction to the Godhra train carnage in which 59 car sevaks died on 27 February. What these records show is that within hours of the Sabarmati Express being set on fire on the morning of the 27th of February, the Gujarat police was bombarded with information about the congregation of mobs and the high possibility of riots breaking out. This is a Headlines Today national exclusive.
February 27, 2002, 7:43 AM. Sabarmati Express rolls into the Godhra train station. In the train are pilgrims returning from the holy city of Ayodhya. As the train starts leaving, mob presses the emergency brakes. Coaches S6 and 7 are set on fire. In the carnage, 59 innocents are charred to death. The horrific riots triggered by the Godhra carnage left 1,044 people dead. Many leaders of the BJP in Gujarat have claimed that the riots were an instantaneous response to the Godhra carnage. Chief Minister Narendra Modi, in an interview to Star News on March 5, said, "The riots were a spontaneous reaction to Godhra. We will conduct a joint inquiry into the incident at Godhra and what happened in its aftermath." Gujarat government spokesperson at the time, Bharat Pandya, told the BBC on March 19, "The rioting was a spontaneous Hindu backlash fueled by widespread anger against Muslims. Hindus are frustrated over the role of Muslims in the ongoing violence in Jammu and Kashmir and elsewhere in India." The RSS, in its All India General Council meeting in March 2002, passed a resolution in which the Sangh declared the post-Godhra violence to be a natural and spontaneous reaction to the burning of the Sabarmati Express. But the riots were not an instantaneous outpouring of anger. For many hours before the rioting broke out, VHP leaders were inciting mobs and the police were aware of the devious plan that was being hatched. Tonight, for the first time, you will see the police control room messages and the State Intelligence Bureau reports that were generated in the crucial hours after the Godhra train carnage. These reports were produced before the Special Investigation Team by PC Pandey in April 2011. Pandey was the police commissioner of Ahmedabad at the time of the 2002 riots. The Supreme Court had on February 7 this year directed the Gujarat government to hand over to Zakia Jafri all the PCR records and intelligence reports so that she could file a protest petition against the SIT, which had given a clean chit to the Gujarat government. Zakia Jafri's husband and Congress MP Ehsan Jafri was burnt alive in the Gulbarg Society massacre along with 69 others on February 28, 2002. In her complaint, Zakia Jafri had sought prosecution of the Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi and 57 others for their alleged role in aiding and abetting the riots. However, the Special Investigation Team, which probed the role of the Gujarat government, filed a closure report in March 2012 In this report, the Gujarat government was criticized for failing to prevent the riots, but the SIT found no prosecutable evidence against Chief Minister Modi and the other accused. On Monday, Zakia Jafri filed a protest petition against the clean chit given by the SIT to Narendra Modi. The PCR records and the State Intelligence Bureau reports that you are about to see are a part of the petition that has been filed by Zakia Jafri. The Gujarat police has on record claimed before the SIT that these police wireless messages could not be located because they have probably been destroyed. But that is not correct. This is a Headlines Today national exclusive.
In the past 10 years, the Gujarat government and senior BJP leaders have often said that the riots that broke out in the state in February 2012 were an instantaneous reaction to the carnage at Godhra. The Chief Minister himself, in an interview to Zee News on the 1st of March 2002, had said, "What we are witnessing in Gujarat at this time is a chain of action and reaction. We want that there neither be action nor reaction." However, the police control room messages and the State Intelligence Bureau reports of 27th February show that the police had received multiple inputs about VHP leaders making provocative speeches about crowds being mobilized and about the possibility of riots breaking out. Despite the flurry of advance warnings, no curfew was imposed in Ahmedabad till noon the next day. Ashish Khaitan with this Headlines Today exclusive.
There were two centralized police control rooms. Ahmedabad Police Control Room was situated at Shahi Bagh in the heart of the city. Naroda and Gulbarg Society, where around 150 Muslims were burnt to death on the 28th February, lay within a radius of 6 kilometers from this police control room. The second one was the State Police Control Room located at Police Bhavan in Gandhinagar. The Ahmedabad Police Control Room received messages of events happening in the Ahmedabad city. The State Control Room got messages from different districts in the state. In February 2012, the SIT submitted before an Ahmedabad court in sealed cover only the Ahmedabad city PCR messages. A copy of these are now with Headlines Today. There was also a third control room. This was at the State Intelligence Bureau headquarters situated inside Police Bhavan Gandhinagar, the very same building where the State DGP's office is situated. The SIB control room was also flooded with field intelligence reports filed by its intelligence units located across the state, including Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. These SIB reports too have been submitted before the courts by the SIT. A copy of these two are now in the possession of Headlines Today. By the afternoon of February 27th, the Gujarat Home Department were being bombarded with messages from cops on the ground about mobilization of VHP and Bajrang Dal cadre. Right-wing activists across the state were holding public meetings, making provocative speeches and inciting mobs. All this is documented in hundreds of wireless messages sent by policemen to the State Intelligence Bureau. Headlines Today has exclusive access to these never-before-seen documents. Within a few hours after the Godhra tragedy, the three senior-most office-bearers of Gujarat's VHP unit, Jaideep Patel, Dilip Trivedi and Kaushik Patel, issued a statement declaring a statewide bandh. The statement contained remarks that were clearly designed to stoke communal passion. A field-level officer faxed this statement to SIB headquarters at 20:38 hours on the 27th.
VHP General Secretary Dilip Trivedi and VHP Joint Secretaries Jaideep Patel and Kaushik Mehta issue a statement. VHP declares bandh. Gujarat bandh to protest killing of car sevaks. Statement says Muslims pre-planned Godhra attack. Innocent ladies were molested and compartments were set on fire and Ram Sevaks burnt alive.
Throughout the day on 27th of February, the SIB control room received messages of provocative sloganeering and mobilization by the VHP.
75 VHP and Bajrang Dal members gathered at Virangam Town Chali and Golwada area. Situation in the area very tense. Sabarmati Express arrived at Ahmedabad station from Godhra at 4:30 p.m. Car sevaks armed with rods and sticks shouting slogans, "Khoon ka badla khoon."
At 10:12 p.m., PICID in Bhavnagar sent a fax to IG Gujarat State IB, Gandhinagar, saying that Sadhu Samaj President Gopal Nand and local VHP leaders exhorting crowds at Junagadh to retaliate. The message said that the VHP leaders delivered hate speeches and called on all Hindus to unite. By the afternoon of the 27th, the riots had begun.
Sabarmati Express reached Anand railway station at 1500 hours. Car sevaks from the train stabbed 4 Muslims present at the station. One victim named Abdul Rashid, aged 65 years, resident of Anand, died. The remaining were hospitalized at Anand Government Hospital.
Reports of violent attacks by car sevaks came from across the state. A VHP mob was reported as swelling at Vadagam village in Modasa. That was to become another epicenter of violence. There were desperate SOS messages seeking reinforcements. Mobs were on rampage through the night, setting ablaze houses and vehicles.
50 car sevaks on special bus from Ahmedabad reached Modasa, Vadagam village at 6:30 p.m. 500 strong mob received car sevaks. Car sevaks told mobs about attack on Sabarmati Express. Crowds swelled to thousands by 9:30 p.m. Police presence insufficient to maintain order. 10 shops owned by Muslims and several vehicles set ablaze by mobs.
Despite these warnings, there was no clampdown by the Gujarat government on the mobilization being carried out by the VHP leadership, and neither were VHP and Bajrang Dal members taken under preventive detention. The Special Investigation Team in its report accepted that the Modi government supported the Bandh called by the VHP. Page 134 of SIT closure report says, Shri Vijay Bhadeka, Under Secretary to Home Department, has stated before the SIT that both Gujarat Bandh on 28/2 and Bharat Bandh on 1st of March 2002 were supported by the BJP. The Bandh allowed the VHP cadre a free run even as the SIB kept sending signals of impending riots and sought preventive action.
VHP, BJP leaders gave provocative speeches at Sardar Chowk, Vapi Town, Dinesh Behri, Bajrang Dal's Achar Brahmabhat, BJP's Jawahar Desai and RSS member Vinod Chaudhary present. Speakers exhorted crowds to take revenge for Godhra. Members of Bajrang Dal and VHP moving around on bikes to attack members of minority community. VHP Bajrang Dal members armed with sharp-edged weapons. BJP leader Manoj Bhai, VHP leader Shailash Kela and Bajrang Dal leader Dharmendra Khatri leading mob. Leaders indulging in violence, enforcing Bandh.
When the Ahmedabad Police Commissioner P.C. Pandey and State DGP K. Chakravarti were questioned by the SIT, they were not confronted with these specific SIB reports. P.C. Pandey was not asked why curfew was not imposed in Ahmedabad city on the 27th afternoon itself, particularly in the face of such specific intelligence inputs. Pandey told SIT on page 7 of his statement recorded on 24th of March 2010. The circumstances did not exist on 27th of February 2002 or even on 28th of February 2002 to warrant the imposition of curfew, and any hasty decision would have led to panic in the city. Even otherwise, with limited forces available, imposition of curfew becomes a serious problem and large-scale breach becomes common. Pandey and Chakravarti were also not asked why VHP and Bajrang Dal leaders were not put under preventive arrest even as they were threatening to kill and maim the Muslims.
In 2010, the Gujarat government told the SIT that the wireless messages for the year 2002 had been destroyed. I hold in my hand the interim report the SIT submitted in Supreme Court in May 2010. In this report, the inquiry officer A.K. Malhotra cited many constraints and difficulties he faced while conducting the probe. The first constraint he cited, and I quote, "The police wireless messages for the year 2002 were not made available by the government of Gujarat as the same had been reportedly destroyed." In New Delhi, this is Ashish Khetan for Headlines Today.
What you've seen so far are the police wireless messages, but that's not all. Moments after the horrific burning of 59 car sevaks in the Sabarmati Express at Godhra, the communal apparatus in Gujarat began fanning the embers of hate. Headlines Today has exclusive access to frantic messages from policemen on the ground to the State Intelligence Bureau and the police control room. These messages show how funeral processions in the aftermath of Godhra were turned into a public spectacle to unleash violence. Ashish Khaitan with part 2 of this exclusive report.
11 years after the horrific incidents, Headlines Today brings you the untold truth of the riots. The state government told the SIT that the 2002 riots were a spontaneous reaction to the Godhra tragedy. But documentary evidence tells a different story. PCR and SIB messages show that the state administration received a constant stream of intelligence warnings indicating a systematic build-up to the riots. But the state machinery failed to respond. The State Intelligence Bureau repeatedly pressed the panic button, sending SOSs to the Home Department about the possibility of riots. Bodies of car sevaks in public display and funeral processions by mobs proved to be the trigger. But records show the VHP and its cadre succeeded in stoking mass hysteria. 30 minutes past midnight on the 28th of February 2002, the State Intelligence Bureau received a fax giving a specific warning about possibility of riots, with bodies being brought to Ahmedabad.
VHP gave a band call. High possibility of riots in Ahmedabad. Take preventive action.
The VHP State Unit President Jaideep Patel was already on his way, escorting the 54 bodies from Godhra to Ahmedabad.
VHP has given a call for Gujarat Bandh. Appropriate vigilance will be exercised.
The motorcade carrying bodies finally reached Sola Civil Hospital in Ahmedabad at 3:34 a.m. By then, there was already a mob made up of VHP and RSS members outside the Sola Hospital. The PCR van positioned at Sola Civil Hospital sent a message to City Police Control Room situated at Shaibog. The distance between the hospital and control room was 11 kilometers. The crowds were getting restless. Soon, violence sparked off.
Mob of 3,000 RSS members gathered at Sola Hospital. Mob assembled at Sola Hospital. Mob of 500 people holding up traffic.
At 8:10, there is a message from the control room saying that 3 SRP companies have been sent to Sola Hospital for extra bandobast.
Mob set vehicle on fire, arson on highway. Riots have started at Sola Hospital and near High Court where bodies were brought. Sola Hospital staff surrounded by 500 strong mob. Please provide security at hospital urgently.
These revelations show how mobs were allowed to congregate at the hospital to take out funeral processions. Though violence had erupted, curfew was still not clamped. Pandey claimed in his statement before the SIT that he visited the hospital at 10 a.m. and found everything to be normal. Pandey also claimed that there were no funeral processions, a claim accepted by the SIT. But the PCR messages show that there were not only processions but also riots at the hospital, nailing Pandey's lies.
Funeral procession of 10 bodies taken out from Ramol Janta Nagar to Hatkeshwar crematorium. 6,000 people accompanied procession.
As funeral processions wound through the city, mobs ran amok at Gulbarg Society, Naroda Patia and Naroda Gam in Ahmedabad.
Funeral procession allowed at Khet Brahma town in Sabarkantha district. Situation tense, 2 Muslims stabbed at Khet Brahma. 150 Bajrang Dal members on way to Khet Brahma. Funeral procession organized for Godhra victim Babubhai Patel in Sabarkantha.
Special investigation team in its closure report on pages 59 to 64 had concluded that there were no funeral processions and gave a clean chit to the Gujarat government on this count. But these PCR messages, kept confidential till now, rips apart these findings, raising serious questions on the credibility of the SIT investigation into the 2002 Gujarat riots.